viewers, Rectangular back again, this time with a review. As you may have seen previously, I got the Hulk Classics Absorbing Man, which is pretty hard to find and can be quite expensive at times. And also it's difficult to find him complete. He comes with 3 different arms and a ball and chain, and sometimes some of the items are broken or missing. So anyway, this I feel is the ToyBiz version of the character is far superior to the Hasbro one. Originally got the Hasbro one and was not happy with him, so was lucky enough to hunt him down on eBay. So let's get into it. There's many nice things about this figure. He's got nice paint shading throughout. You can see here as I move him a little closer. He has the prison jumpsuit on with the numbers on his pants. You can see there on his thigh. And there's some nice gray or tan shading coming up from his boots into his pants, and throughout the legs you can see different shades of brown or light gray, and also on his boots a lot of detail on the boots with the laces and the eyelets and the tread at the bottom of his feet. He does have a ankle pivot. We'll get more into that when we go over articulation. The only issue mine had was the peg is separated at the knee, so I still need to fix that. And the ball joints are a little bit loose at his hip. This one is a little bit worse. So that's what you have to deal with a used figure, but that should be pretty easy to fix. And I'll turn him around. Let's take a look at his back. Now, no, he was not impaled by Tony Stark with a blunt object. That is his attack feature gimmick that he comes with. He's got like a ratchet mechanism in his right shoulder that you can crank it all the way back, and then you push the button and he does nothing. Now you have to really crank it quite a bit, and he'll flip it all the way around. So you could attach the chain, ball and chain that he comes with, and potentially he can swing it all the way over his shoulder. So that's pretty nice if you're into that sort of thing. There's not a whole lot of shading in his skin tone. There's a little bit on his head, and I don't know if that's just discoloration of the plastic, but you can see he's got some really cool veins that are sculpted in different paint shade, appear to be green, and he's got this nice furrowed brow, and his ear, actually, mine, I guess the plastic is maybe deteriorating. There's like a tiny hole that's made its way into his ear canal there. I don't know if you can see that through the back. Yeah, you can see the light coming through the back of his ear. He's got these big bulging veins and this really nice sculpted chain around his arm, and you can see hair that's not sculpted on, it's just painted on, and on his chest, and he's got this great head sculpt on him. I think he's a really good, one of the best head sculpts I've seen, especially for ToyBiz, and that's a good start off with the head articulation. You can look all the way up, which is great. and pretty much all the way down. And this arm is like a steel or iron arm. I'll get into the articulation here. He's got, full ball jointed arms. It does, ratchet, and you probably want to release that with the effect when you want to get it all the way back around. And then he's got the swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows. He's got no wrist swivel, but he does have a wrist joint to move it in and out. And he's got a articulated thumb. It's completely separate on its own joint. And his fingers really well articulated to make pretty almost a closed fist, but it's mainly to grasp his chain. So they're just all fused together, not individual fingers. Then on this hand, he's got pretty much the same thing going on. Wrist hinge there. But let's see, no swivel. But on this hand, he does have a swivel, and it's a little stiff. I don't want to force it. It's kind of a little bit more rubbery type plastic. Double jointed there, and like I said, ball jointed hips, which looks like the pegs go up into his body, not straight across. Double jointed knees. Like I said, he's got ankle rockers. Pretty good articulation up and down. He's got a toe joint, which doesn't move a whole lot, at least on that foot. This one works a little bit better, and ankle rockers work really well. And of course, he's got shin swivel, and he's got a really decent ab crunch. Go that pretty far down and pretty far back. Alright, and his arm pops off, and you can replace it with a couple of the other arms he comes with. This one I believe is supposed to be the Adamantium Arm, and stick that in there. Pops on really nicely. It looks like it's supposed to have a separate joint at the thumb, but it is really stiff. I'm afraid to break it. So if it does twist, be really careful. And like I said, this hand, the alternate hand, does have a wrist swivel, and the hand closes really close to the body there. Double jointed elbow. And the last arm he comes with is the Hulk arm. Just got these really nice big veins. It does transition from Hulk into more close to his flesh tone of his regular human skin. And it also has the wrist swivel. Pop that on. And this is obviously really heavy, so if the ball jointed hips are loose like mine are, it's kind of difficult to stand without putting his peg holes and his feet into something or a stand. So I'm definitely going to have to tighten him up. And the thumb does rotate, but not a whole lot. It's pretty rubbery. So he's kind of hitchhiking, and it does not have any kind of hinge to go inward. I almost wish they had just made it just a fist, because what's he going to be doing, picking up sticks or hitchhiking with it? I mean, I don't know, it's kind of good but not great. So put his metal arm back on. It's a little easier to deal with. And here is the chain, ball and chain that he comes with, which not really any shading to it. It's just a black ball, and it's a plastic chain. This might have been glued at one time. Looks like somebody put some glue on it. And it does pick up paint pretty easily. It's kind of almost like a coated, like a powder coated paint on there. So if you don't want it to get scratched up, you do need to just be careful with it. And chain has a little bit of paint detail on it. It does some, different shades of gray and silver intertwined, so it's pretty realistic looking. And we'll have him hold it in his right hand. Take a look at that. So like I said, his ball joints are a little loose, so it's kind of a challenge to get him to stand at times. And it's not the best pose, but I just want to do a little size comparison with him. Put some other figures next to him and check it out. So a lot of, especially the Hasbro figures that are made, even the newer Hasbro figures are made with the medium-sized body of the Bullseye, which Quicksilver has. So in height comparison, you can see that he's really not that big. Obviously he's much bulkier, but he's almost the same height, probably just a few inches in, 6-inch scale. A few inches would be how much taller that Absorbing Man is to Quicksilver there. So I'll put them side by side, if my Quicksilver will stand. And let's put the Hasbro Absorbing Man. And you can see just how ghastly this flesh tone is. He looks much better tan than this creepy, like lunch meat. I don't know what they were thinking. He's just so pale. He looks plastic. He looks kind of like Data from Star Trek Next Generation or something. So there is the Hasbro version, which they're pretty similar in height. The ToyBiz one is definitely bulkier, but they're almost about the same height, and his head is bigger as well. And I think the head on this one is a little bit small, if you ask me. And a larger figure, which they probably, if they do remake this character, it will probably be in the new Hyperion mold, or this guy who has the big wrecking ball, and that would be Thunderball. And so if we put all three of these guys together, I have to move the camera to fit Thunderball in there. So there you go. Alright, so hopefully you liked my review, and that you subscribe, share, like, and leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.